Anyways, so you ended up watching AAA?
Anyways, yes. Yes, ended up watching AAA. Oh man, that was amazing. Just the Penta coming out first, doing his promo in Spanish,
Yep.
giving off that same vibe that Stephanie has. When they cut their promos in English, it's all right,
All
but they're
right.
still learning their English. But man, in Spanish, it's a different beast,
It's
man.
just more
It's
passion
like
behind it.
it's more passionate. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like Canelo, right? When he
Right.
speaks in English, he doesn't sound as threatening.
No.
But then when he's speaking to you in Spanish, it's like, yo, you better watch your back,
Right.
Yeah, that's the same vibe they gave me. So yeah, that promo was pretty dope. One of my favorite parts was where he was asking, "Oh, do you want to see the brothers back together?" And then the people started cheering, but not as loud. And then Penta's like, "No se oyen cabrones." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that got a pop." I was thinking that. I see why you enjoyed the Bailey match
Yeah.
against Flamer. That was a really good match, and oh my god, bro, the women from
Just
Mexico.
hella ass in that whole match, bro.
Whew.
Just
Wow.
hella cake
That was a
everywhere, bro.
That was a different world, man. Different world. Then that Fatal Four. Oh man, I see now what you mean about the Grande Americano. How he's bigger in over there than he is in the
It's
WWE.
funny
The
because
other way
then
around.
they come over here and it's flipped. The original is
The,
the baby
the
face, and
original.
and
Yeah.
the new one is the heel.
Oh
But
man.
yeah, dude, no, the new one over there, bro. He's like, it's funny to me because, like, obviously, like we know he's not, Mexican, at least,
Yeah.
fully, right? Um, because I mean, we don't know who he is. You know what I mean? I'm just
We
going
don't.
out. He's got a little bit of an accent when he speaks Spanish, but
Just a little
yeah,
bit.
just the way that he was able to get over there is insane, bro. Like
Mhm.
I feel like they love this guy more than their actual like homegrown talent. You know?
That's saying something.
Yeah.
That is saying something. Yeah, so that match was great. It was enjoyable. I see what you meant too about what's his name? Santos?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something was off with him.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He was just. I mean, if he's hurt, I hope or if he got hurt, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
If he wasn't hurt and he was just kind of lazily going through that match, bro, like, come on, like
Mhm.
they're. I don't know. I don't know.
Nah.
That
I want to
was.
believe. Yeah. I want to believe that he did end up getting hurt just
Yeah.
because it's like, come on, how are you gonna throw that? Like
Right.
that was a really great match. Everyone was into it. But hopefully we find out, or we may never know. But
Right.
I hope that's the case that he was hurt, and hope he gets better.
Right.
But yeah, great. That was a great match. That was really fun. What was the La Parca? That's his name, right? La Parca.
La Parca, yeah.
There was this one spot where I was worried because it was when he jumped out of the ring and did a flip.
Hmm.
He overshot that. Like
He
he
did.
went over. That scared me. That reminded me of with Roman Reigns when he did that in SummerSlam, I believe, where
This
he just overshot it.
this
It wasn't
past
it wasn't a
SummerSlam.
flip. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I remember
it
what you're
wasn't a
talking about. Yeah.
yeah, it wasn't a flip, but it was him jumping over the ropes, but he overshot that, and it was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's how you hurt your neck.
Right.
But I'm glad nothing bad happened. He was able to pull it off, and yeah, dude, it was an exciting match. And then, yo, man, the main event, yo, Dominic Mysterio, man, I love seeing that guy wrestle, man.
He's gotten
That's just Eddie
so
Guerrero,
good, bro. He's gotten so good over the last like 2 years, especially. Just the way that he tells stories in his match, man,
He
it's
is
hard. It's hard
natural.
not to enjoy his matches now, especially when
Yeah.
something like the Mega Campeonato's on the line,
Mhm.
or even a couple of weeks ago when the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Like, man,
Mhm.
this guy is just, man, he's something else, bro.
Like, he makes it look easy, man.
Yeah,
Everything he does, it's just really flawless. Definitely want to see more from Dom. In a way, I'm happy he won.
yeah,
Like I'm looking forward to seeing more with him with the title. I like seeing Dom with the title because he's earned it at this
right.
point. He's worked his ass off. But yeah, man, I saw the chair shot. That was wild, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I hope Dom's okay. I hope he
Yeah.
recovers. 'Cause that was a nasty,
One,
nasty shot.
he wasn't on Raw tonight, so it had to have been
No,
pretty bad.
yeah,
But yeah, dude,
not
the way the Vikingo he literally just chucked that chair at his head, bro, and that was nasty.
it was. Uh, Dom's a trooper. You know, hope he heals up, and we got to see him at WrestleMania
Right.
because that man deserves it. He's earned it.
Yeah.
He's worked his ass off. But yeah, other than that, you know, overall great match. That was a great. Just you know, I know you said that it's been cut. Like these were like the
Yeah.
3 matches. They're gonna do it over the week. As the week come by.
Right.
So that's cool too. I'm digging that. So yeah, dude, this is something I might start watching now because I was
Yeah.
really into it. I just like the crowd. I like the vibes. Um, yeah, Bailey was there putting in a great match. Wow.
Yep. Yeah, and I think I don't remember all of the matches that were announced, but I know that there's like a six person tag team match. I want to say next week that has Mr. Iguana Lolo Vice and Ray Phoenix. That match should be pretty good. But yeah, man. So this Saturday again, they're gonna do it, and then the Saturday after, they're gonna do it some more. Unfortunately, I did get, one part spoiled for me on TikTok today. Some people just can't fucking, not upload stuff that they know, we haven't seen yet. But regardless, luckily it was I wouldn't say a small spoiler, but not something that's insanely important, I guess. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this Saturday for sure.
Definitely awesome. But yeah, great first Saturday. I enjoyed watching that. And yeah, man, I think we might start adding that to more of this conversation that we have because it's
Yeah.
pretty great. I'm excited to actually learn all their names. You know, to come out as a cool guy, knowing who's who. You know, like oh yeah, Flamer. I know
Right.
Flamer. Oh, Flamer though. Damn. Anyways.
So yeah, anyways, what's up, guys? We're back here with the After the Three Count podcast. I'm Chris. That's Marvin.
Yo.
Yeah, we're just gonna be, I guess, changing things up a little bit. Just kind of talking about this week in professional wrestling, going back to SmackDown pretty much from last week. So yeah, I feel like this week there was a lot of like really big things happening, even outside of the world of the WWE. Obviously, we were just talking about AAA. But there was also some pretty big things happening in AEW that I might want to cover a little bit later. We're not again too into AEW like we probably should be, but we're trying. We're trying to broaden our horizons, I guess you can say. So yeah, I kind of just want to go to SmackDown real quick. It wasn't a terrible show. Not like the week before, at least. There was some things that I did enjoy, but obviously the big talking point coming out of there was we finally got a heel Randy Orton back. So I kind of just want to get your your thoughts and opinions on that.
So definitely. Oh man, we couldn't just get a heel Cody. It can't happen. It just couldn't happen. It's what we talked about. Cody, he's selling all his merch. He's the one making money off that. You can't do that to him. So yeah, it made sense to turn Randy. I know Randy also has this thing going, but it just made sense to turn Randy because, like we talked about before, if it was gonna be two baby faces, it would have just been like, yeah, it's just another match. We're more focused on CM Punk, Roman Reigns, but that turn from Randy, Cody, my man, this is the third ass whooping. Like
more than that,
you gotta make some different decisions.
There was Brock after WrestleMania 39. There was The Rock turning heel on him and whooping his ass outside. There was Kevin Owens turning heel on him. There was the fake AJ Styles retirement when he whooped his ass. There was obviously Cena last year. And then there was Randy Orton this past weekend. So I'm counting 6. I could be missing someone in there, but that's 6 ass whoopings within the last 3.5 years of Cody. Yeah.
Oh, how can we not get this man as a heel already? Yeah. Oh my god, just so many ass whoopings. But no, it was great. I mean, it gave off vibes similar to when John Cena gave him that whooping. The kick to the balls and just the whole beatdown. But there was still just something more savage from Randy Orton that I was just like, yeah, this is evil Randy Orton. Like he is back. And just after all that whooping at the end with the chair, oh my god, dude, that looked nasty. And then I think when he threw him over the commentators table, then picks him up and his face is just bloody, dude. Like, wow, like already we're going to that
Yep.
level. But it was a good decision
Right.
because now it's made this match like, hey, we got to watch this one too. It's not just
Right.
CM Punk, Roman Reigns. We got to watch the Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. um, I know at Raw we were supposed to get an interview from Randy, but not much really happened from that.
Right.
We have to wait still, but that's okay. We can wait. But yeah, I mean, my overall thoughts on that, it was needed. It was definitely needed, and it delivered. In my opinion, it delivered. It got me a little bit, not a little bit, way more hooked into that match now. Because like I said, I thought it was just gonna be a babyface, like, oh, bro, like I got you, no, I got you, bro. Let's have a great match, handshake match, whatever. That's the end of that. But nah, this is. I want to see how Cody's gonna react to this. I'm very excited to see that.
So I'm gonna both agree and disagree with you.
Oh.
I think that yeah, doing it this way definitely got me more excited about the match. But after sitting with it now for the last 3 days, I just as much as I enjoy a heel Randy Orton, and obviously it's something that we haven't seen in a very long time at this point. So it should be, kind of refreshing and exciting. I still think that the right choice should have been Cody Rhodes to turn heel on Randy. And the reason I say that is because I just said right now that there was before Randy there was 5 different ass whoopings that this guy took, and they were pretty savage ass whoopings. I think that now was the right time to turn him. You could see the crowd already starting to turn on him. Obviously the kids still love Cody, and we're kind of seeing the same thing that we saw with Cena all those years ago.
Yep.
Where they don't want to turn him because he's selling all the merch. All the kids love him. He's still a draw, and I completely understand that part. But I feel like they could have also learned from the whole Cena thing, because they should have turned him heel back then, and I think that they should have turned Cody heel here. I think having him whoop Randy's ass would have gotten us just as excited, if not a little more. Because if that were to have happened, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you which match was going to main event night 2. I still believe that the main event on night 2 is still going to be Roman and CM Punk. Had Cody turned though, I really wouldn't have been able to tell you which one was going to main event that second one. Just because of the interest that we would have gotten from that. Obviously, like there was a lot of people sour, and me being one of them, about Cody getting the title back from Drew. So had that happened where Cody beat the shit out of Randy, that I think I would have completely forgotten about the whole Drew McIntyre thing. And I would have just been completely invested in this match. Not saying that I'm not. I'm still really excited for it now. Again, I enjoy a heel Randy Orton just as much as the next guy. But to me, Cody Rhodes as a heel is one of the best in just wrestling in general. And I really, really, really would have loved to see this in the WWE.
Yeah, the WWE fans have yet to see a heel Cody Rhodes. No, I do agree that if it had been Cody that had gone heel, it would have been different. Like it was still good as it was, but yeah, if it had been Cody, I 100% agree with you. Seeing it from your point of view now, that I probably would have questioned which would be the real main event, or okay, the night 2, but. Yeah, I mean, but we kind of knew this, it wasn't going to happen just because of the merch. It happened with Cena. It happened with Roman at the time as well, during like when his rise.
But look at what happened when they finally turned him heel.
They don't learn.
You know what I mean? Like it just that's what doesn't make sense to me right here. Like obviously they fucked it up with Cena. They finally pulled the trigger on Roman. Roman became the biggest thing in professional wrestling, and then here they are doing it again with Cody. Like it just doesn't make sense to me, man. Like people have been wanting this for a few years now, and like I said, we see the crowd starting to turn on him. We saw it last year at WrestleMania. people were booing the shit out of Cody. Everybody wanted Cena to win. The same thing is gonna happen this time. There's nobody out there that is gonna boo Randy. Nobody. When the perfect person to turn heel was there, and I guarantee had Cody turned on Randy, people would be booing him out the fucking building. I guarantee it. But here we are, and this is not happening again.
It's
That being said, there was a certain brutality, obviously, that Randy does bring to him being a heel. I think back to when he had Cody on the announcer's table and his head was laying on the steel steps, and he just came hella fast and
with the chair,
the chair, bro. Like, that was nasty, right? So of course, like, I enjoy it. I'm still excited about it, but I just don't think that was the perfect choice. I think the perfect choice would have been Cody to turn instead.
Yeah, and I mean, definitely with the whole like WrestleMania tickets not really being sold, they're even dropping prices. I honestly think if they had done it that way, tickets would have, and if they continue with this drop in tickets,
Right.
that would have sold out,
bro.
Just because it's new, refreshing. New,
If Cody were to have turned, I really would have contemplated buying a ticket.
But it's,
I would have I really would have been like, damn, like, as much as I'm bitching and complaining about prices right now, right? I still would have been like, oh man, like, that's something that I think I kind of have to see.
Because they would have been doing something right. It's like, okay, they get it now, but it's like, do you guys even watch your like previous content from before? Like, you saw that didn't work. This formula's not working. Why are you gonna wait so long to make Cody go heel? Look what happened with Cena.
Right.
Sure, it was great, but it could have been better if it was done earlier.
Right.
But look at Roman. I think Roman, they should have probably turned him a little bit sooner, but even then, it still hit. It was still one of the biggest things ever. He's still one of the biggest stars because of that turn. Because honestly, if they never turned Roman, he would not be as big as he is now.
I think that like, we could kind of look back on it right now and say, like, maybe at the time they should have turned him a little earlier, but I kind of liked the way that it played out because he went away for a while after the the leukemia thing, and then there was a couple other things that were going on, and then he came back during the pandemic, and at that point he was heel, and it hit. Had they turned him heel before that, had they turned him heel before WrestleMania 35, I just don't think it would have hit as hard or as good as it did when they finally pulled the trigger on it. But yeah, man, turning Roman heel ended up being like the biggest blessing that Roman could have had, because for so many years they were just shoving him down our throat, and we were just like no one cared, you know what I mean? And then they turn him heel and they give him a 4-year title reign, and everybody loved it, you know what I mean? Like,
we're all okay with that.
So yeah, sometimes man, you just have to pull the trigger. I get that Cody's your ace right now. He's like they say, the quarterback of WWE. He's your top boy. Yeah, he's your top merch seller, maybe outside of Danhausen right now, but still you're definitely in your tops for merch. I completely understand all of that, but it would have just hit way better than what we actually got.
Yeah, like, honestly, if we can just give it a rating at 1 to 10, the way it happened, it's a good 8.59 out of 10.
That's what I would
honestly
give it.
Honestly, if it had been Cody, that's just the perfect 10.
Right.
Because that would have been, whoa, this is something new. Right. We're all invested now. And yeah, I like the way you said that. If that had happened, you would have been thinking like, okay, what's gonna be the main event at night 2 now? Mm-hmm. Just that alone, I'm pretty sure there's a hell of a ton of people thinking the exact same way as you.
So kind of moving on a little bit from that, I did want to touch a little bit on the Kyle Fletcher and Speedball Mike Bailey match that we ended up watching. Again, we aren't the biggest AEW fans. We don't regularly watch Dynamite, but I was hearing a lot of stuff about this specific match in general. So I wanted to tune into it to see what the hype was about.
Mhm.
So again, I kind of want to just get your opinion on what you thought, because we saw it together, but we didn't really talk too much about it. So I kind of want
Right.
to see where, where your mind was during that match.
No, of course. So me, I believe it's safe to say that we both don't really know like what's the story going on
Right.
between that. All we saw was the match, so
Right.
we're just gonna focus on the match itself. Yo, that match was just wow. Like it was every moment had me going, oh, oh,
Right.
just like doing all that stuff. The I think you remember that one part where I think it was Bailey that had what was it? It was like on outside of the ring,
Mhm.
and then he was like on top of him, and then he does like a turn, and then kind of like a hurricanrana type move, but it landed weird, but it landed outside
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
ring, but it looked so perfect though, like it was
Yeah.
just looked so flawless, like these guys made that look so easy, but that to me scared me. I thought someone was gonna get hurt, but it's insane how they know what they're doing. Man, the back and forth, the fast movement, the fast pace, that was something. Because, like I said, when I started watching AEW years ago, that's when CM Punk came back.
Mhm.
I do remember seeing a lot of the matches were like that. They were
Right.
fast paced, hard hitting type of matches. Remember seeing Cody Rhodes at the time just getting down like that. You know, Eddie Kingston, Brian Danielson, they were getting down like that, and it was just very different from the WWE. You know.
Right.
But yeah, just seeing this match, just the back and forth, like it felt like a action movie. You know,
Yeah.
just the back and forth. I don't know who's gonna win. I love the back and forth pinfalls. Uh, I think the fans started chanting "Fight Forever" at one point.
Mhm.
Yeah, like they could have kept fighting forever.
Yeah.
It was an amazing match. That alone makes me okay. I need to see what's going on with AEW.
Yeah.
I need to check out a lot more matches.
Yeah, I
But I love
agree. I agree. I was kind of in the same boat. It was weird because in the beginning when it first started, again, I don't know too much about who these wrestlers are. I've heard the
it.
names obviously, but I've never really stopped to pay attention or watch their matches. Um, but yeah, dude, after watching this, I'm kind of in the same boat where maybe I should start to pay a little more attention to what's going on in the AEW sphere. This
Mhm.
match in specific though, bro, from start to finish, it was just balls to the wall, and I enjoyed every
Yeah.
part, every bit of it. There was some stuff kind of in between, looking at it in more of like I don't know what the word is, more of like a I guess critical lens. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
I feel
That's
like
correct.
I feel like Speedball in specific, he did do like the same move like 4 or 5 different times throughout this match. And that
Mm.
move is where Kyle Fletcher was on the ground. He did that backflip and he kind of landed on his knees on his chest. Um,
Oh,
Again,
yeah, yeah,
it was
yeah.
it was a cool move, but after like the second or third time, I was like, all right, like again, this is me just being
Okay. Yeah.
hypercritical about it. It didn't take away from the overall match, obviously.
Mm.
One thing that I will say was in the beginning when it was just a bunch of back and forth. They were going really really fast. I didn't
Mhm.
realize how big of a human Kyle Fletcher was.
Yeah.
And I feel like it it kind of hit me when they slowed down just a little bit, and I saw how small Speedball was. So
Mhm.
when I saw them like next to each other, I was like, oh damn, like this dude is huge, right? And for him to be that big and moving the way that he does, man, there's few people that are able to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I just really enjoyed that match from start to finish. Again, I don't know too much of the story. There was some interference toward the end, which ended up giving
Yeah.
Kyle Fletcher the win. Um, I don't know exactly what's going on, but it's
Mhm.
to the point now where I think I'm gonna start tuning in just a little bit more. Hopefully I get to see what's happening and understand it a lot more.
No, yeah, because yeah, I'm hoping that the way it ended adds to whatever story is going on.
Yeah,
Because we've seen this in WWE where there's great matches and then it ends like that. Sometimes that makes sense. Other times it's just kind of annoying because it's like, man, this was a great match and it just
right,
ends like this. Again, we don't know the full story, so all I hope is that it made sense. We'll find out eventually because we're gonna start getting into
right.
AEW. But yeah, that match overall was just that's a match if you want to try to get someone into wrestling. Yeah, I would
Yeah,
say show them that match.
yeah,
Show
for
them that
sure.
match. Yeah.
And one of the things that I also liked about it was a little bit of a longer match. We were looking at somewhere in the realm of like 22 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
But it didn't feel long, which I really really enjoyed. And, you know, sometimes as much as I love wrestling, sometimes I feel like matches can be drawn out just to be drawn out, and I feel like there's times where maybe I kind of lose a little bit of interest somewhere in the middle of matches, you know, and eventually I catch back on. But this match specifically, like, there wasn't a single time where I think that my eyes moved from the screen. It was just, there was always something going on. Like I said, from beginning to end, it was balls to the wall, and I really really enjoyed that.
No, great,
Yeah.
great. Let me ask you this question though, man. So I did remember that AEW has this thing where they call out how much is left of the match,
Mhm.
like, oh, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, five
Yeah.
minutes. I do remember when I was first watching AEW at the time. I don't know. I thought that was cool, just because like when it gets to the point where like 5 minutes left to the match and it's still a back and forth type of thing.
Mhm.
I don't know. It just kind of hits like, yo, this is about to end. Who's gonna win?
Right.
I don't know. Did you get any like sort of feeling like that or anything different
Well,
hearing the
so
time being called out?
I've been to a lot of indie shows, and I
Mhm.
feel like a lot of indie shows do that,
Ah, okay.
where they call, or it's one of two. They either call how much time they have left in this match, or they call how much time has passed since the match started. Um,
Oh.
so it was something that, like, I heard it, but I didn't think too much of it because, again, I've been to a lot of indie shows where they do stuff like that.
Ah, right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, it got down to like, oh, there's 5 minutes left in this match, and they were still going, you know,
They
crazy
were
back
going
and
at it,
forth. And I
yeah.
was like, oh, damn, like, you know, the end has to be, you know, pretty crazy.
Hmm.
Um, and obviously, you know, it was with the interference that we ended up getting from that. But yeah, it wasn't
Right.
something that I really thought too much about as it was
Mm.
happening.
No, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
So then, you know, we'll keep it in the AEW sphere. I really want to get your opinion on, you know, Miss Ronda Rousey coming back and what you think about that.
Just so everybody, I don't like Ronda Rousey. I just despise that woman. Just everything she says when she first came to the WWE, she was given everything. She was treated well. Then to come out and just start talking shit about the whole thing, disrespecting like the rest. I remember at the time Becky, who was working her ass off, didn't get anything. She earned everything. Then you have Ronda Rousey that was given everything and just complaining about certain things like, oh, like, this part-time schedule. I can't go home. It's a part-time schedule. And she's
Right.
complaining about, like, I can't do this. I can't do that. And yeah, just I think there was this one specific video where she was just like none of them can touch me. This
Yeah.
shit's fake.
I
And it's
know.
like,
I
dude,
know what video you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah, like you're still a part of the WWE. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's so annoying. So yeah, when I saw the whole thing that she came back in AEW, I was just like, wow, I wonder how much they paid her to like actually show up.
So
I don't know. I
sorry.
don't
Go
know if
ahead. Go
it'll
ahead.
add anything to it. I'm a fault. Yeah, but I don't
No.
know if it'll add anything to it. Again, I don't know what's going on in AEW. I don't know why they would bring her back or what's going on with
Mhm.
her. All I know is she's gonna have a match with what's that other chick's name? Gina something.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Gina
I don't know,
Serrano
Gina
or something
something.
like that.
Gina Serrano. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's that's all I just kind of remember hearing that was happening in her world.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know why she's in wrestling. After everything she said. But what are your thoughts?
So I feel the same way. I Going back to that video that you were talking about, she not only said that first, I really hate when fighters come in here. Oh, they can't touch me. Like, okay, like what's your point, bro? Like, your UFC career ended like shit. You got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Twice.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're only going back to fighting at this point because your ass is running out of money. I guarantee it. Right.
Almost. Yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
so yeah, I mean, during that one specific video, though, she not only mentioned, "Oh, you know, you can't touch me," but she was talking shit first about wrestling fans in general, and
Mm-hmm.
then the WWE, which, you know, obviously, you know, being both a wrestling fan and a WWE fan, it sat really wrong with me. I was annoyed with Ronda Rousey from the moment that she stepped foot into the WWE. It just never made sense to me as to why she was there. Again, her UFC career ended like shit, so that was the reason why, she was like, oh, well, I can't do it for real anymore, so let me go to the scripted stuff and
Mm-hmm.
see, what they'll give me there. And like you said, they fucking gave her everything, dude.
Everything.
One of the things that really, really annoys me is that she will forever always be part of the first women's WrestleMania main event. Obviously, like, I feel like the right person won, luckily, but
Mm-hmm.
still, knowing that she was there really upsets me because her heart was never in it. It would have been one thing if she really took to it and she was passionate about it and she loved what she was doing. But literally it was like from the moment she started, she was talking shit about everything that had to do with
Everything.
professional wrestling, right? So when I see that she comes back to AEW, it just doesn't make any sense to me because the first thing is, okay, well, is she here for promotion because she's gonna have a fight pretty soon? But then
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that doesn't make sense to me because her fight's on Netflix. So you know what I mean? Like she's gonna go to one of Netflix's main shows competitor to
Mm-hmm.
promote her fight on Netflix. Like that just I was like, dude, what are you doing, right? But then I go onto TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and I'm looking at everybody's comments, and everybody's, oh, she'll fit in really well there, and Tony Khan better not mess this up, and this, that, and the other, and I'm like, bro, like she doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't
Mm-hmm.
give a fuck about the fans. She doesn't give a fuck about wrestling. She just doesn't. And I'm just like, bro, like why are we doing this? If she's here just for promotion for her fight, fine. She's gonna be gone right after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if she really wants to stick around and have matches, I really hope that she doesn't turn on the AEW fans the way that she turned on the WWE fans,
Mm-hmm.
because that was just bullshit from the start.
It was. No, absolutely, man. Yeah, given everything, titles, main event at WrestleMania, she got to start in the Total Divas at the time, which was really big at the time. Everything, and
Yep.
she still came out complaining. Um, yeah, dude. All I hope, all I hope is that in her fight, I hope she gets her ass kicked, man. Just a third time,
She's not
that would
going
just
to.
that would make my day.
She's gonna win that one. I guarantee
You
she's
think
gonna
so?
win. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's gonna win that one. I
Ah,
mean, I don't see a world where she loses, but again, I'm not huge into or I don't even know if it's
mhm.
a UFC fight or what
I
the
have no
rules are
clue.
for the actual fight. But still,
Mhm.
yeah, I don't see her losing. She's gonna win that one. But I
Yeah,
just
man.
want to see. I just want to see what happens after. Like, is she gonna come back to AEW? Is she gonna start having matches
Yeah.
in AEW? Um, yeah, man. It just again, it didn't make too much sense to me.
No.
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
He already messed up by just bringing her into his world. Like, why? Did you not see how the failure that
All
was?
right, all
Yeah,
right.
and then what sucks too is that I understand that during her her UFC time, yeah, she was a pioneer for women UFC at the time, but then when she joined wrestling, she's also considered as a pioneer for like women's wrestling. It's like, no, you're not. You weren't there. You weren't there for the struggle. Like, sure, you did your UFC stuff. That was great. You can hang in the UFC now with these new talents. I'm not too much of a big fan of the UFC, but I have seen a couple fights, and it's
Right.
just like, yo, these women would have destroyed Ronda in her prime. I mean,
Mm.
bro, have you seen her shadow box?
Her? No, I haven't seen her shadow
No,
box.
I've seen. That's her basically. That's her shadow boxing, bro. I kid you not. I kid you not. I'll find the video and I'll send it to you. But oh my god, it was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And there was a time where she thought she can take on Mayweather, bro. Floyd Mayweather. She thought she could take on him, a
I
professional
remember that.
boxer.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
Like she genuinely thought she could take him in a boxing match, which is the reason she lost because she's not a striker.
Right.
The two women she faced before, they're strikers. They saw her game. They're like, nah, we're gonna keep it standing. Bam, bam, boom, kick to the face, knocked out.
Yep.
Ah, dude, I just don't like Ronda Rousey. I do not like that woman.
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I just again, I don't
No.
understand what the thought process was here.
Mm-mm.
But a part of me is kind of like, okay, I want to see what happens after this fight. Is she gonna stick around? Is she just here for the
Mhm.
promo? I don't know, man. I just
It's money at the end of the day.
Yeah,
It's like what you
yeah.
said. She's probably running out of money. She's
Yeah,
like, eh.
because why else would you go back to fighting, bro? You got knocked out in your
Yeah.
last two UFC fights.
Mm-hmm.
You know what would make you think that going back to fighting when you're almost 10 years older at this point would be a good idea outside of like, oh, I need a payday. You know, it just doesn't make sense. Like, uh, I don't
Yeah. All I gotta say is AEW fans, just get ready, prepare yourselves.
know. So then today, today was kind of a um, today's Raw was actually pretty
man.
good. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of enjoyed most of the show. There was some things here and there that I was like, I could do without this, but
Right.
yeah, man. And what was funny is the way that it started, bro. I was pissed, right?
Yeah.
Because we have
Yes.
the all the shadow clones come back out, and
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no way, we're doing this shit again, bro. Like
Yep.
this was literally like the worst opening that we've seen in recent memory, and I'm like,
Goofy
there's
ass
there's
opening.
no way that they're gonna run this back, right? But again, I feel like that's what they wanted us to think, was that they were gonna run
Mm-hmm.
that back, right? Because then almost right away, Seth comes into the ring, he starts cutting a little bit of a promo. Paul Heyman comes out, and then he brings out Brock. Um, so yeah, man. At this point, we talked about it a little bit last week. I was like, well, who's gonna
Yeah.
be Brock's? Who's gonna answer the open challenge? And I was like, okay, well then I guess it's gonna be Seth, right? Which I wasn't too mad at. Again, I feel like it would have been a pretty good match. But then my first thought was, okay, well, what's gonna happen with Obafemi? And then my second thought was, okay, well, what's gonna happen with LA Knight?
Night.
So yeah, I just kind of wanted to gauge where your head or where your thoughts were at, before what ended up happened.
Right. Right. No. Right. So yeah, like how we were talking before in our previous episodes, Seth could be one of the possible opponents for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I honestly thought that was gonna happen at this point. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, this makes sense. Paul came out, the way he looked, he just looked all messed up. Yeah, and the moment Paul came out, I'm just like, okay, I think he's coming out. Brock's gonna come out. Brock's gonna come out. Then he started. What was he chanting? 5-0,
He
5
wa-
or
he was chanting. Well, it's fuck around, fuck around, find out.
FO. Yeah, FO.
FAFO. Yeah.
FAFO. Yeah, and then as soon as he said 5, oh my god, that hit. Whew, I was just like, okay, there it is. It's gonna be against Brock. It's gonna be Brock versus Seth at WrestleMania. That made
Yeah.
sense. I enjoyed the ass whipping he gave to every all these masked men, just because like I'm so annoyed of
Just
these
tired
masked
of him,
men at this
bro.
point. Yeah, so I'm happy that Brock just dismantled every single one of them. One of my favorite one was this one guy like jumped on him, and Brock looked like he was hugging him. If you pause it, he just looks like he's hugging him, and then he just throws his ass on the steel steps, man. But yeah, I love that ass whooping. I thought that was gonna happen, but I want you to talk about what happened after.
So
'Cause this is all you two.
just to before we get there,
Okay. Yeah.
the way that Paul Heyman looked when he came out reminded me a lot of was it last year? No, I think it was 2024. When he came out, when he was still with the Bloodline 2.0, and they fucking killed him when they put him through that table. Paul Heyman, say what you want about him, man. This guy is a method actor beyond
He
method
really
acting. So just knowing, or when you look at him and you see like the distress that he's in, or that he's portraying that he's in, man, it makes everything so much more believable. And when he goes around saying that he's the GOAT, it's kind of hard to disagree with him, especially when there's stories like this that are happening where he makes himself look like the world is just ending, or the world is collapsing on top of him. Yeah, dude, when Brock came out, I wasn't expecting it until obviously he said the F5, and at that point I was like, oh shit, like, okay, we're getting Brock versus Seth here. And yeah, kind of in the same realm. Like, yeah, it made sense, after Seth did what he did to Paul Heyman, but my one of the big things also was like, okay, well, is Seth cleared? Is he gonna be cleared? Like we're about a month away at this point from WrestleMania. You know, obviously I don't know exactly what like is hindering him at this point. I guess you know I don't know what his physical therapy looks like, or you know maybe he is cleared and they're just saying that he's not. Like I really don't know. You know exactly what's going on with him, and it's kind of hard to trust them after the bullshit that they pulled. You know at
Yeah.
SummerSlam, but yeah. So I was just like, okay, well, and then I guess you know this is where this match is gonna go.
Hmm.
I was not expecting what happened next to happen. I shit you not, bro. As soon as the lights turned out, I was like, okay, who is coming out, right? And then Obafemi's music starts, and I was like, oh shit, right? The first thing that came to my head was, is this gonna be a triple threat?
Mm-hmm.
Because again, because like, well, if Seth is cleared and he's not going after Brock, who does he wrestle at WrestleMania? Because the other two guys in the Vision, the ones that aren't hurt, they're going after the Usos, which we got pretty much got confirmation, you know, later on in this episode. So that was my first thought, and then the one thing that I really want to kind of highlight here was this San Antonio crowd for this specific moment was, dude, they made it. Right, had this crowd not given the reception that they did to Obafemi, I don't think it would have hit as hard. There was that point where Oba gets into the ring, and dude, they're just Oba, oh, like, and they're so loud, right? And then the other thing that I kind of want to highlight is usually when somebody comes out to confront Brock Lesnar, he usually has like a smirk or he's laughing, right? This time he looked worried. I wouldn't say he looked scared, but he looked like oh shit, like you
Yeah.
know this is somebody that you know it can maybe give me a run for my money, right? So then yeah, Oba gets into the ring. You know Seth does. He gets close to Brock, backs out really fast, and the next part, bro, literally my jaw dropped. He gave him that
Oh,
pop up power
God.
bomb, and then he stepped on him and pointed at the WrestleMania sign. I was like, holy shit.
Mhm.
Like a lot of people are saying that WWE has a really hard time creating stars. And a part of me kind of agrees with that. But then they go and they pull some stuff like this, and I'm like, okay, well, they're creating the one of the biggest stars for the next 10 years at this point. My
Yeah.
my only my only thing is Obafemi has to win this match. If he doesn't win this match, then they kind of negate everything that they're trying to do up until this point.
Hmm.
Yeah, man, you know how much I love Oba.
Yeah.
I feel like man, this was like the perfect I don't know, this was the perfect segment, bro. This opening segment in general from start to finish, you know, again outside of the Shadow Clones.
Uh-huh.
It was, dude, it was amazing, and it got me excited for the rest of the show, and I feel like that's what an
Yep.
opening segment should do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the complete opposite of the last week's Raw opening segment. Just wow, like what a turn.
yeah.
But bro, one of the things I wanted to talk about that the the power bomb that Oba was gonna do to Brock. Yo, he had Brock up there like he picked up Brock like if he weighs
Like
like a
nothing.
regular
Yep.
person type of weight, bro. He had him up there and then drops him. That to me was just like wow. But yeah, and to me especially the stepping on him like that. When is the last time you've seen someone step on Brock Lesnar
Well,
like
so
that, dude?
and I don't know if you saw it, but Brock told him to step on him.
Oh
Yeah,
really?
you could see his mouth, and you could kind of hear just a little bit. Brock was as he was
Oh,
laying
that's a
down,
great
because
catch.
he was laying down, and you could see him kind of like trying to sit up. Right at one point when he's trying to sit up, you could see him go, "Step on me," and then like literally right away, Oba puts his foot on him and he points at the WrestleMania sign. So yeah, man.
Oh.
I loved everything that about this. Both parties were really into it. It's not very often that you see somebody manhandle Brock Lesnar.
Brock, yeah.
Um, again, one of the things that made me really happy, obviously, was that Brock was like he was fully into it.
Yeah.
From his facial expressions in the beginning, like I said, all the way to getting power bombed and then telling Oba to put his foot on him. Dude, I'm so excited for this match because this isn't somebody like obviously we're gonna get a Brock Lesnar match, right? Suplex, F5, right? But at the same time, I feel like there's gonna be so much more to it because this isn't somebody that Brock Lesnar could just manhandle. So yeah, man, I'm just so far. This WrestleMania card is already looking 10 times better than last year's.
Oh yeah,
to me,
100% agree. No, 100% agree. Wanted to go back a little bit to where, yeah, I didn't catch that where Brock was the one that told him to step on him, and yeah, if Brock is already sane to do that,
right?
I kind of have hope that that Oba might get the W in this one. If Brock is already like that, because I can't imagine Brock telling anyone to step on me.
Right.
So
the only reason I kind of bring that up is because there was that article that came out sometime this past week that both Brock and Paul Heyman were like, okay, well, Brock's most likely going to retire at SummerSlam this year because it's in Minnesota, and they're saying that he shouldn't lose anytime between now and then. So that's right. Kind of why I brought up LA Knight, right? Because if there was somebody that can afford to lose right now, it's LA Knight, and it's not going to hurt him too much, right? I mean, there's not much more you could do to hurt him, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If you put, Obafemi into this match and you have him lose to Brock Lesnar, it's like, okay, well, yeah, he lost to Brock Lesnar, which, who hasn't at this point, right? But if you're trying to build him up to be like, one of your biggest stars or even the face of the company for the next decade, that you shouldn't have him lose, at his first WrestleMania, especially.
At his first WrestleMania.
So to me, like if whoever was going to face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania was going to lose, then I feel like they maybe should have held off Obafemi. I have a lot of faith that they're not going to do that. I have faith that they're going to have Oba go over in this match. But I just, again, there's still that little part of me that's like, oh shit, like this is still Brock Lesnar. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and we've seen that type of thing too, where they let the wrong person win. So that's, that tends to happen. But yeah, I mean, I do hope Brock is into this, and I hope if it comes from him, like, it's because Brock doesn't need this win.
Right.
It's not gonna do anything for Brock. Brock is already a self-made man. He's already a legend. He's a GOAT. He doesn't need this win. Oba, it's gonna help him so much, and it's gonna help the company in the long run. Like you said, Oba is like in his mid-20s or something,
like 26, 27, somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's 10, 15 years right there that you're gonna get from this guy. So I hope they know. I hope somebody in that damn boardroom knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, and just you got to give him the W. That's just how it is. They're gonna put on a banger though. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited to see that match.
So yeah, again, it was just to me one of the better openings that we've had in a long time for a Monday Night Raw. Again, it got me excited for the rest of the show. And then what ended up happening next was El Grande versus El Grande. Not too much to kind of hark on here. El Grande ended up getting. Fun, it was fun. I knew El Grande ended up getting the W here. I just kind of want to know where this is going. Like, are they going to have a mask versus mask at WrestleMania, or I don't know. But you know what I was thinking during this match was that original Grande kind of reminds me a little of Chad Gable. I don't know if you get that that same Chad feeling. Who? Yeah, I know it's been a while since we've seen
Chad,
him. But...
who? Didn't he die? Didn't the Wyatts get him?
The Wyatts killed him, huh?
The Wyatts killed him.
Nah, but yeah, I mean, again, not too much to hark on here. It was just a fun match.
But that would be. Well, that what you just said right now, being a mask versus mask at WrestleMania, that would be great. Yeah. Just that's gonna get a pop, like straight get a pop of whoever loses. Just like, oh, it's him. We know it's him, but we don't know it's him.
Right.
And
but see,
I didn't actually think of that. Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, is you go mask versus mask, you're gonna have to have original lose.
Right? Yeah.
So then, obviously the rumor is that it's Chad Gable. I still don't 100% believe it, even though he does remind me of him a little bit, right?
So
what do you do with Chad Gable after that, if that's who it ends up being? Because again, with the new El Grande, he's so like he's the king of Mexico at this point, right? So
Yeah.
like you can't have him lose. You can't have AAA lose that. You can't have Mexico lose that. Um, so yeah, man, I just kind of it would be a really good match. I just don't know like what the right answer is there. You know.
We just gotta wait. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm confused. The only thing I can call on that was the finisher. Uh, you can kind of see that no one got hit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I was able to see it, and it's like I know what they were trying to go for. It would have been dope, but it's. I mean, I'm glad no one got hit because I really don't want them using that move. Just
Right.
very. It's a bad move to use. It's brought bad luck to this company.
Mm.
But yeah, it just looks funny whenever you catch it when you
Yeah.
clearly catch it. Like yeah, no one got hit, but that's just being nitpicky. But other than that, it was a fun match. I enjoy watching it.
So then we had, I don't remember off the top of my head the exact order of stuff, but I do want to talk about
Yeah.
Bailey and AJ Lee for a little bit. I was kind of excited for this match just because I really enjoyed Bailey's match with Flammer on Saturday. So I was kind of hoping that she would bring some of that intensity that she had during that match to this match, and I just didn't see it as much as I saw it this past weekend. And I'm wondering if maybe it's because like I think this was like they say AJ's first Raw match in like 15 years, right? And obviously
Yeah.
before this, she had just the one singles match with Bailey at Elimination Chamber. So I'm wondering if maybe Bailey kind of held back a little bit just because there's
Yeah.
still obviously like some ring rust there. But yeah, I mean, I knew that Bailey wasn't gonna win. AJ's only had the title for all of like 2 weeks at this point. But yeah, I wanted to see that intensity that I saw, this past weekend, and it wasn't there for me.
No. Yeah. But it's that it's AJ hasn't wrestled in a
Yeah.
singles match like that in a while. Bailey had to be holding back.
Yeah,
That's just kind of how that went. Again, yeah, it was okay. Nothing special.
it wasn't.
Nothing
Yeah,
crazy.
it wasn't a bad match. I don't want.
It wasn't,
I don't want
no,
it
yeah.
to seem like I'm saying it was a bad match.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I do enjoy seeing AJ back in the ring, and hopefully we start to see her more and more. Because I think at this point, but she's only had what 4 or 5 matches, since she's come back. So I hope we start to see her more, especially now that she's champ. But yeah, just like I said, I wanted to see that intensity, and I didn't see it, unfortunately.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah, again, it was I guess another fun match too.
Yeah.
Nothing too special.
And then after that, we had she was celebrating for a good while, and then we had the greatest women's wrestler of all time come out and attack her, and it's not just me saying it, everybody's saying it. Sports Illustrated saying it, the Bleacher Report
man.
is saying it.
Man, he memorized that, guys. Just letting you know. He studied that. He practiced that. He nailed it.
And no, yeah, dude. So I'm kind of mixed here. I'm kind of half. There is a part of me that's a little tired of Becky and AJ, but I do love Becky so much that I'm just excited to see her do, something for a title. Obviously, going into WrestleMania. So yeah, I just what are you thinking here?
For me, if they're gonna do another match, Becky cannot lose that match at all. If she loses that
Really?
match, I'm kind of like,
Yeah.
here we go again, Becky. She cannot lose that if they have another match. She has to win that one.
See,
and it
but
has
then
to be like
if Becky ends up winning at WrestleMania, that would mean that AJ only had about a 6-week title reign.
I mean,
You know what I mean? Like,
well, for me, I don't know. I don't really see AJ staying much longer, to be honest
Right.
with you. I don't know why I'm getting that feeling. Whereas with Becky, I mean, Becky's still like good to go. But I don't know. To me, if Becky does lose, like, it's not gonna ruin her career or anything like that. But I'm just not gonna like take her seriously anymore. Like at this
Yeah.
point, it's kind of getting goofy. Like even the attacks, the attack on AJ Lee just kind of look a little goofy to me.
yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't feel as threatening like the earlier ones where it's like, oh damn, Becky,
Right.
like she's destroying AJ. Now it's like, oh okay, you're gonna lose again. I don't know. She just cannot lose. She has to
Yeah.
win, and it has to be like a win, not a she cheated or shenanigans happening or stuff like that. To me personally, she has to just beat AJ because bro, AJ's already made her tap like 3 times. Like, you know,
Yeah.
what's going on there? Like, Becky's one of your top stars. Like, you can't have her lose like that too. Like,
Right.
just straight up tapping. I don't know, but we'll see what happens,
Well,
man.
so and then the rumor going around right now. Again, I don't know how true it is. I kind of just I read something, I forget on which social media platform, but they're saying that CM Punk might be taking a break after WrestleMania for no less than about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So if CM Punk is taking a break, I'm also going to assume that AJ is taking a break with him.
Yeah.
So you know, obviously they both have titles. They both have pretty big matches coming up here at WrestleMania. So I'm kind of wondering, if this rumor is true and they do end up taking a break, what does this mean for those titles? Like, obviously they can't keep them away for 2 months.
Yeah.
So do we have both of them lose? There's only one of them gonna, you know what I mean? Like one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this WrestleMania specifically is that there's so much kind of up in the air that I really don't know the answer to.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to last year, like I feel like I called 90% of the matches. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, man, I'm just like I don't know. I really don't know what's going on.
No,
Um,
it's
yeah, I kind of after hearing you explain why you feel like Becky shouldn't lose, I'm kind of in the same boat now. I didn't really think about it the way that you were thinking about it here. But it's true. Like, yeah, she's tapped out to her 3 times. There was the
three
WrestlePalooza
times
match, the War Games match, and then the singles
war
match
games
at,
match.
at, at Chamber. And it's
Chamber.
like, yeah, you can't do that to Becky. you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
And to make things worse, she's tapped out clean.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
it just Michael Cole in commentary was like, yeah, like Becky just can't stand that AJ's better than her. Like, I know it's part of the show and all, but it's like that's how it looks.
right,
That AJ is so much better than Becky, and we all know it's not true.
right.
But you can't have Becky lose like that.
So that being
You just
said, I also really enjoyed I enjoyed watching AJ more so, especially because she didn't talk this time. We talked about it a little bit a couple of weeks ago,
right.
and just her promo style just doesn't fit in today's world anymore.
It doesn't.
And that was one of the things that I was thinking about as this match went on. I was like, damn, I'm really kind of enjoying AJ more here, and I feel like a lot of it is because we didn't have to hear her. As bad as that sounds, I completely understand that, but yeah, it's just man, her promos, bro.
Yeah, it's because it's just that it doesn't fit because like we talked last, just to like summarize it a bit, mental health issues is a really big thing. People
Right.
talk about it, and she's a really big advocate for that.
Right.
So she can't be playing a crazy character.
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. She should have tried something else. Um, I mean, I'm also not really a fan of the whole like I'm the your favorite wrestlers that type
Mm.
either. I'm also not a fan of that, but. I don't know, man. She should have just thought of something else, or maybe they should have thought of something else for her. I don't know what that could have been, but
Yeah.
this is whatever they're doing with her right now. It's not really working. Her promos are just very stale. Like I said, nostalgia is just
It's a,
to me that's what's making these promos like hit for
it's a
people
hell of a
because
drug, bro. It's a hell
yeah,
of a
like
drug.
she gets a pop when she's saying the same thing over and over again.
Right.
Like I'm your wrestler's favorite wrestler. I'm a woman. I'm gonna be the champion. This and that. It's like
Right.
okay, you said that last week. Like say something new. But
um.
we'll see what happens with her.
So then, we had the Penta match.
The Penta match, yeah.
So
With Dragon Lee.
I was, we went into this match not knowing exactly what was going on or who he was going to be facing. And when Dragon Lee's music hit, bro, I was so excited because I knew that this was going to be just a flamer of a match, bro. And it was that. It was hard hitting. It was fast. I felt like there was really no like breaks in between. There was moments there where Dragon Lee was having his time to shine. Obviously in the end, Penta ended up getting the W here, but yeah, man, I really enjoyed this match. I feel like over the last maybe like 6 or so months, Dragon Lee's really coming into his own here. And I'm just enjoying everything that he's doing, whether it's in WWE or AAA.
No, 100% agree. Yeah, I mean, I knew Penta was gonna win. It's
Right.
just there's no way he was gonna lose. But even then, there was moments where I was like, "Hey, what's
Right.
going on? Like, what are we doing? Are we gonna change something up?" I don't know. Just Dragon Lee was so good in this match.
Yeah.
That one specific move where it made me laugh because you can see the ref kind of go over the like in between the ropes, and with the back of her neck, she was kind of like lifting the top one, and then that's where you see Dragon Lee just shoot himself to Penta when Penta was on the commentator's table.
Yep.
That move was amazing. That move looked great. He was flying, dude. Like that's the only way I can explain that. Dragon Lee, Dragon, he
Right.
was flying, dude. I love that, dude. Yeah, that match was amazing. It was a great match.
Yeah, I mean, again, when it comes to the Penta's title reign, I just kind of want to know what's gonna happen now with Dominic in specific because he did retain the AAA championship. So I want to know, like, okay, well, is he gonna go after the IC title again? What's gonna happen with Finn? Again, going back to our last conversation, I really, this is one of the things that I'm really enjoying about this WrestleMania is I really don't know, where a lot of these stories are gonna go. So it kind of keeps me guessing. So yeah, dude, I'm just, I love Penta, bro. Everything that guy does, I
Penta's
just,
the man.
I love that fucking guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just, it was a great match, like I said. But yeah, I mean, I guess not too much to say outside of that, other than it being just an amazing match.
Great match.
We had a couple of backstage segments. There was two with Roman and the Usos. Did you saw them? I'm assuming, right?
Yes.
The second one is kind of the one that I want to talk about here because it reminded me a lot of old school Bloodline.
Yup.
I'm kind of in the realm where I don't really like. The Bloodline's been over at this point for almost 2 years, maybe a little bit longer than 2 years, right? Excuse me. So I'm always in the realm where like I really don't want to repeat storylines, especially so soon. You know what I mean? It'd be one thing if 5, 6, 7 years had passed and we kind of revisit the Bloodline, but ever since they broke up, we've revisited them once already at
War Games.
at War Games. Was it 24? And even then, it was a lot of fun. So I feel like to me, this is just one of those stories that I can see get repeated over and over again, and I'm still gonna really, really enjoy it, right? But yeah, man, the backstage segment, that second one in specific, bro, like that was a lot of fun. I really, really enjoyed that.
No, yeah, and Roman, yeah, he looked like the Bloodline Roman Reigns. Like he actually looked happy, like cocky, like arrogant. Like he just laughing. The part where he's like, "What's CM Punk gonna do? He's gonna beat me up?" And they just all start cracking up. Like, yo, whoa, what's going on? Like, didn't last week he said, that whole thing about your father?
Right.
Like, the first couple of promos, Roman just looked angry, just like, whoa, like I'm ready to just rip your head off. And now he's just like, yeah, what's gonna happen? What's he gonna do about it? Just laughing, cracking jokes. So it was different. But yeah, 100% agree. That's my thoughts exactly. The Bloodline are like, whoa, what's going on with this now? Even Mr. Yeet, like, we've been having him all like angry, just got a little bit more like heelish persona. But this one, yeah, it reminded me of like the Jey Uso from the Bloodline at the time. Like not necessarily a baby face, but not too heelish either. He's just kind of, he's just talking. They're just talking. And it's one thing that they said that I agree. It's just like, hey, this is just family business, that type of thing. So I don't think it's a heel or babyface type thing going on. I think you called it a couple episodes ago, where it's just a family thing.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense that's what they're doing. But I was enjoying the segments, even the first one too. I thought it was good. Thought it was interesting. I like the part where Roman just like with the camera, like, hey, come here, and then again, it gave me vibes of like that Bloodline Roman. You know?
Yeah, man. I think one of the things that I really liked about the second one in specific, though, was when Roman was talking about, how everybody always says the same thing about him. The part-time this, part-time that, right? And his rebuttal to it was, well, he was talking to the Usos and he said, well, our fathers, they were always gone. And he was like, I'm not going to be like that with my kids, right? And that kind of resonated me, with me a little bit.
Yeah.
Being a father and always wanting to be there for my son, like as much as I possibly can, right? So I really, really like that part, and it kind of like as much criticism as I've personally given to Roman for being part time over the last couple of years, that kind of made me. I was like, damn, like, he's right. Like I get it, bro.
Yeah.
Like he wants to be there for his kids and stuff, and
It's
I'm really, really
wife.
glad, obviously that he is. Um, but yeah, man, like I said, this it's kind of like a catch 22 because yes, obviously, like anybody out there that's a father, I want you to be a great father, right? Um, and it's obviously something that I'm also trying to do, but at the same time, wrestling is so much better when Roman is here. So it's like, bro, like, I want him to be here, but I also like I completely understand why he's not. And then
Hmm.
on top of that, there's still the leukemia stuff that I'm sure he's still dealing with all the time.
Yeah.
We don't see him make too many public appearances just because obviously his immune system isn't the greatest. Like, there's a
Mhm.
lot of things that I completely understand as to why his schedule is the way it is. But like I said, just wrestling in general is so much better when Roman is around, and we see that every time that he comes back. That he always gets the biggest pops. He always gets the most views on social media, the most likes. Like,
Mhm.
whether he's here for 6 dates out of the year or whether he's here all year, he's still still one of the top guys for sure.
Nah, 100% agree. And I knew you were gonna love that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a full time father. I knew
Right.
you were gonna love that. And yeah, I'm pretty sure for all those people too that were questioning like, man, where's Roman? Like, even me at the same thing. I was like, Roman's never here. Like, it's
Yep.
annoying. That line just changed everything. It's like,
Yep.
hey man, this guy. His family's number one. That's just how it is. But I thought it was great. The whole line, the whole delivery to that was great. Bloodline vibes. I did like the backstage segments, and yeah, it leads up to what happened later on.
Right.
But we'll talk about it once we get there.
There was another backstage segment that I kind of wanted to talk about. It started last week with Kofi and Javon.
Javon.
Um, I really, again, I really don't know where this is gonna go. Javon was kind of like pushing back this week,
Hmm.
and yeah, I just like the way I think about it is if there's anybody out there that can kind of guide Javon into being a main eventer, it's somebody like Kofi Kingston. Obviously, Kofi hasn't been a main eventer his entire career, but he reached those highs. Was WrestleMania 35, right? When he beat Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I feel like with Javon being as young as he is, and having somebody like Kofi in his corner, man, it could just do wonders for him. For me personally.
Mhm. No, I agree. But the way this segment went, it just it seemed like, okay,
Yeah.
he's not going with Kofi. I don't know, maybe a future match against Kofi. I would love to see that too. That would be amazing. I felt like that segment, like there was just kind of a lot going on. Like it first
Yeah.
started with him with Dragon Lee,
Right.
and I just enjoyed his vibes with Dragon Lee. Like, yo, that was fire, because that's how I felt
Right.
just seeing Dragon Lee's match that we talked about earlier, and then the whole thing with Kofi, and then our boy comes up,
All right,
Mister
Danhausen.
Mister
Yeah.
Danhausen. Oh, I enjoyed that. He starts doing the Big E dance
Oh
where he's
yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yep.
like twirling his hips. Dude, I was dying on that one, dude. That made me laugh.
No, and it made me laugh when Kofi threw Grayson Waller into the curse.
Into the curse. Kofi dodged it, bro.
Bro, that made
And
me
then
laugh. So, dude, I fucking love Danhausen. I don't know. Do you watch Raw with the VPN? Do you get the commercial segments or no?
this time I didn't watch it with the
No.
VPN.
So
Nah.
there was a commercial segment with Danhausen. And he literally had there was a T-shirt cannon that he had. And he was just shooting them
Oh.
out into the crowd. But then there was this big like an actual like cannon like he had to hold it the shit like this. like it was to the ground, and he was just shooting shirts out, right? Bro, everything this guy does is gold, man.
Oh,
I
what?
love this guy.
What a difference from his like debut at
Yeah,
Elimination Chamber. We were just like, who the hell is this guy? For those
yeah,
that didn't know him, and now it's like, yeah, this guy, we're into him now. Like, can't wait to
yeah.
see what else happens. One of the things that made me laugh too was with Waller, where he's like, no, 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 it went over my shoulder. I love that. That was a
Yeah.
fun. It was a fun segment. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah,
dude, I
going.
want to see Danhausen in the ring, bro. I
I
wonder,
cannot wait for that. Yeah,
when or if he's gonna have a match. Like, I don't even care who it's against at this point. Like, I just want him to get in the ring.
yeah.
I've never seen him wrestle. I want to know what
No,
his wrestling style is like. I want to know if it's purely comedic or if he can actually go in the ring. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, man, I love that fucking guy. I hope that he stays on both shows. I hope he's just cursing
Yeah,
everybody left and right, and yeah, I
left
just
and right.
I enjoy that dude for sure.
That's one thing I want to just talk about a little bit. Like, I wonder where these curses are actually going. Like, would I guess Dom getting injured, would that be considered a part of the curse?
So
Chat, sorry, original Americano, him losing, because that part of the curse.
right,
I wonder if there's going to be more to it, or what do you think?
so I'm not really sure, and I don't know how long these curses last, right?
Mhm,
Um, and the reason I say that is because yeah, like Dom was cursed, he lost his IC title,
mhm.
right? And yeah, even though he got his head split open, he still won the match. So
He still won,
does
yeah.
the curse just last for that episode,
Mm.
or does it just keep going and going and going? Because
Same with the
yeah,
Miz. He got
right,
knocked out. Yeah.
right. But then and even with the original Grande, like he had the match, and then he most likely got attacked backstage after the curse. But then, okay, well, like, is it over after that? I really don't know. I have no idea. Like I said, I've never seen this guy outside of these last couple of weeks.
Same,
So
same.
I can't say for sure, if these curses last, for a couple of hours or a couple of days or weeks or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't.
Yo, in the comment section, let us know what you guys think.
Right.
Cause yeah, I definitely want to know what you guys think. Cause I've been thinking about that. I mean,
Yeah.
does it last that episode, or is there gonna be more to it? But
Right.
let us know what you guys think.
I want to get into the final segment here, unless there's something else in between that you want to talk about.
Mm, no, I mean, one was the Bailey and Lyra. I didn't
Yeah, I
really
don't really care
think
for
too
that
much of it.
either. Yeah.
Just like the behind what was happening. I think it was what's her name, Maxine.
Mm,
She was having a conversation with the Vision,
mm.
with Logan Paul and Austin Theory. So I don't know what that's gonna
Dude,
lead to.
I'm
Maybe.
not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I completely forgot Maxine and Natty had a match tonight. That was like the
Oh my
one.
god.
That was like the one downside to this episode, bro. I did not give a shit about this match. After the and it sucks to say because I really like Maxine. I just don't care for Natty at all. I didn't care for Natalia. I don't care for Natty. They're not doing anything new. The one thing I will say about this match though is I feel like there's no reason why Natty should be winning
Yeah.
at all. You're trying to build up Maxine. She was literally your champion just a couple of weeks ago, and you're having her lose to Natty for what? And even was it
The,
last week or the week before when Natty knocked her out? Why?
knocked her out. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. It's
what's the reason there? There's no reason why this should be happening. You're killing Maxine. You're killing her aura, I guess, that she
yeah.
had, her little bit that she had. There's no reason that she needs to be losing to Natty. I get the story is, she's the teacher, and the teacher, eventually is going to be, the student's better than the teacher. But again, there's no reason for it. Because what's going to end up
The,
happening is they're going to have like 3 more matches that Natty's going to win. And then eventually, after that, Maxine is going to win. But by that point, I'm not going to give a shit anymore.
like I already don't
Right?
care
Like,
at this point. Yeah. I'm already done. This whole thing with Natty and Natalia, whatever. whatever was gonna be done with her should have been done 10 years ago. Like at this point, anytime she appears to me, it's like, oh yeah, she's gonna lose. She's gonna
Yep.
lose. I don't know why she's winning against Maxine when we were like building her up.
Yep.
I don't know what's going. I don't know whoever in charge of that. I don't know. Someone should fire that person because I don't understand what the hell they're trying to tell
Yep.
at this point. But it was just that little thing. I don't know. Maybe they're gonna add Maxine to the vision, or who knows what's going on there. But it was just something very subtle. I guess we gotta wait and see.
I mean, I would like to see a heel Maxine. Maybe that'll kind of change some stuff for her. But again, I just don't see like. I think it's just this feud in general, bro. I just don't give a shit. And again,
Honestly, yeah.
now that I'm thinking a little more about the show, I do want to talk a little bit about Liv Morgan had a promo.
Oh wow! Yeah.
With about Finn. As much of a fan as I am of Finn Balor, and as much of a fan as I am of Liv Morgan, I really am enjoying this feud, and I love that the whole Judgment Day is, kind of included. It's not just the Dom versus Finn thing. I really like this promo. But basically Liv saying that she was, plotting on Finn since the beginning. And it feels to me like so at first when they kicked Finn out, I kind of just assumed that Dom would take the throne there, but to me it's kind of feeling like Liv is taking the throne.
It's Liv. Yep.
And again, me being number one Liv fan out there, I really like that, and I really want to see where this goes, because they always go back to, oh, there's no egos, there's no leaders. But if Liv is trying to get into that position, I wonder where this kind of leads with her and Raquel, or even with her and Dom. So yeah, man. Again, there's just a lot there that is to be enjoyed, and I really like that promo.
Also, let's not forget what's gonna happen with Roxanne. Remember, Finn brought Roxanne in.
Right.
Where do her loyalties lie? Because she's been BFFs with Liv and
Right.
Raquel. But Finn was the one that brought her in, and remember originally we thought they had their own little scheme going.
Right.
So I wonder if they might go back to that. So again, another thing up in the air.
Right.
Let's not forget Miss Roxanne.
Yeah,
So
I had seen something that Roxanne posted on, I think it was Instagram, and Liv responded to it, and she was like, "Come back, like we miss you." So I'm like, oh, I wonder where this is going,
Yeah.
And then there was that match between Stephanie and Raquel, and the one thing that I was kind of like really shocked about during this match was the involvement of Io Sky. I
want to talk about that.
my original thought for Io Sky going into WrestleMania was that she was going to go after the U.S. title, and I'm like, okay, well, if she's like putting herself into this feud, like what's gonna happen? Are we gonna see Io versus Raquel at WrestleMania, just as a straight up match, or yeah, dude, I don't know. Like, I really don't know the direction for Io here.
No. I was getting that vibe just because of the way Raquel destroyed Io last week, but it wasn't like oh yeah, that's gonna happen. It was just more like I can see that going that route. But again, it made more sense to have her go for the U.S. title.
Right.
That's another money maker. Not saying that a match with Raquel is gonna be bad. That'll also be fire too. But for me, I just didn't like how they made her look like a chump. Like, she came in running. She didn't do anything. She just got tackled over the table. I just wasn't a fan of that, because I was excited when Io popped. When Io came out, it got a pop, and I was just like, oh, okay, let's see what's gonna happen now. And she just got thrown over. Like, she didn't do anything. And I was like, what the hell? Like, why are you making her look like a chump? I personally wasn't a fan of that. I didn't like that.
I get that, but then at the same time, like, you got to think that they're really, really trying to build up Raquel here. As this powerhouse, as like this strong woman. So I get her obliterating Io Sky there, and I again, me being number one Io Sky fan, I still really enjoyed that part. I thought the way that Io sold it going over the table was just fucking incredible,
yeah.
But yeah, man, I just want to know where this is going. Like, if it's gonna be just a straight up match between her and Raquel, like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that match for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fire match.
But yeah, I just, like I said, just the direction of everything right now is just so up in the air. I really have no
it
idea where like a majority of this stuff is going.
Yeah, it's there. But I hope at least for next week, Io's got to get some licks in as well.
Yeah.
It can't just be. For me, I thought the beatdown last week was like already like establishing Raquel as like a powerhouse. I would have loved to have seen Io at least do something. Maybe then
Right.
get obliterated, but I would have loved for her to at least do something. The
Right.
fact that she just didn't do anything. I mean, yeah, she sold that move. She sold it great, but I mean, that's just Io Sky. That's just
Yeah,
the
but then
best in
at
the
the
world.
same time, you have to think like if she would have attacked Raquel, then that would have been a DQ. So I'm wondering if maybe they were just trying to, not have that happen.
Hey, you're right. No, no, no. You're
Um, so I don't know.
no. That's
Yeah, again, I don't know. I don't know what these people's thought process is.
yeah.
But yeah, I just
I mean, I hope it ends well. Yeah, that's
right,
just all we can hope for.
right.
But yeah, the match itself, that was okay match.
Yeah, it was alright.
Stephanie, I I enjoy seeing Stephanie all the time, so that's that's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, nothing special.
And then so let's get into this final segment then.
Oh,
I enjoyed this more than the last face to face that they had. I was kind of
second
very critical about the second one. I feel like Roman was still stumbling just a tiny little bit over his words, but not as bad as that second one. I like that there was more back and forth here, as opposed to like the first two was like, okay, well, Roman's talking and then CM Punk is talking and that's it, right?
mhm.
Right
Yeah.
here, they really did have a back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, which I really, really enjoyed. So Roman comes out, he talks a little bit, acknowledge me, and then just, talking a little bit more about all the stuff that CM Punk was saying. And then CM Punk comes out and they start going, to their back and forth. And again, it was a lot of, well, you're a part timer, you're never here, and I really liked the part where Roman tried to walk away, and CM Punk didn't let him go.
Yeah.
I thought that was like a huge power move there, and especially because Roman did end up walking back into the ring, and they continued their back and forth from there. So yeah, like I said, I really enjoyed this promo, especially more than that second one. I'm really, again, we're about a month away from WrestleMania, so I'm really excited to see where the future back and forths go, because I think we're expecting Roman for at least the next like 3 out of 4 weeks. So
Okay, that's
yeah.
good. Yeah. For me, this promo just went a different direction.
Mm.
I did like it. I enjoyed it. But I just, just kind of waiting to see, after the whole "I'm gonna bury you next to your father" line. I thought we were just gonna see like a just pissed off Roman, but we
Yeah.
got a different Roman, which it wasn't bad in my opinion. Because to me, at the end of the whole promo thing, it just seems like, okay, now it's my turn to play mind games. It gave me that type of vibe.
Mhm.
That's what Roman's trying to do now. But I don't know. I did enjoy that because he just didn't sound angry. He was actually just able to talk back and forth with CM Punk.
Right.
But he never even brought that up, like the whole like, oh, what you said about my dad, this and that. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more aggressive, more just. Honestly, at one point, I even thought just Roman was just gonna just go for the attack.
Mm.
That's what I was thinking. But then those the backstage segments were happening, and I'm just like, he doesn't seem mad. Like he seems like he knows what he's doing. He's gonna do something different. So it was different. At this point, I just don't think any promo they do is gonna top that first one.
Yeah.
I think that first one, it was just a masterpiece that is just not gonna be replicated again. So I don't want to compare any of their future promos to that one anymore because it's just not. It's always gonna fail at this point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was a lot of back and forth, like you said. One of my lines that got me too was what did he say? What do I call you? Titty Tiki or something like that.
Is
Like,
his actual name? Yeah. He was like,
"I'm not-"
you call me Phil, my government name. I'm not gonna waste my time trying to call you Tiki or something.
like, yo, and then he's like, well, I'm not gonna call you Joe because my favorite Samoa.
Yeah.
Samoa, his name is Joe, so I was like, oh wow, that's a nice little reference. Shout out to Samoa Joe. Yeah, just the back and forth. For me, I thought the way it ended it wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but it was like, okay, we're getting somewhere. Because for me, it just feels like Roman wants to play the mind games now,
Right.
and I think he's doing a great job at that. But I did see a lot of people were kind of upset with the whole like, man, we went from your I'm gonna bury you next to your father to you're old.
Right.
I don't know. I wanted to get your thoughts on that. What
See,
do you
and
think
that
about
was
that?
one of the places where I thought that Roman kind of stumbled over his words, because he was saying like, "Oh, you don't do this better than me. You don't do this better than me," and then he stopped. And I feel like he was trying to think of like what he was supposed to say next or what he wanted to say next, and then came the "you're just old," and then that's when CM Punk punt. Like I feel like maybe it wasn't originally supposed to go that way. I mean I think that the way that it ended, it was always going to end that way, but I don't think that what was said was what was supposed to be said. Um, and if it was, then yeah, that part just didn't hit the way that it should have. Again, we go from "I hate you" to "I'm gonna bury you next to your dad" to "yeah, you're old." Like
Yeah.
that part just didn't make any sense. And even last week's when CM Punk was having the back and forth with the Usos, um, the way that one ended was pretty good too. So for it, like I said, for it to go from "I hate you" to "I'm gonna bury you next to your dad" to I don't remember exactly what the last thing that was said was, but it was something about I'm sorry that Roman had to send his young boys out here. And then to again, "you're old." It just didn't make sense to me. So I don't truly believe that that's the way that it was supposed to end. Because again, when I watch it, I look at Roman kind of like stop for a second, like, and it kind of feels like oh shit, like I don't remember exactly what I wanted to say here. But again, I could be wrong.
No, it's a great take because yeah, I mean, I did think that too. Just the whole like, man, we did just go from all that to you're old. Like, what are we doing? To me, I think Roman should have had the mic at towards the end, where he was saying that yeah, you see what I mean about CM Punk? He can say all this stuff, but I say one thing and look what he does. To
Right.
me, I prefer that. I would have preferred that as like the real ending with the mic
Mm-hmm.
because it's true.
Right.
He CM Punk was the first one he threw a punch at Roman. And that's where I'm thinking that okay, Roman's going for mind games now.
Yeah.
That's the vibe I was getting from Roman. So this was a different Roman compared to the first two promos where he just sounded angry, just like like I don't like you, I hate you. This one he's like, all right, I'm gonna play your game and I'm gonna play it better than you. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. So again, I think this episode of Raw as a whole was really good.
It's good.
Outside of just minor things here and there that I didn't really care for, I really enjoyed this show. Again, I'm really excited for this WrestleMania. I think so far the matches that we have, it's just banger after banger, and I'm excited to see where like the. Uh, from what I understand, I think that we're going to be seeing Julia versus Tiffany for the U.S. title, which I think should be really, really good. I want to know what's going to happen with the women's tag teams. I want to know like where we're going to put somebody like an LA Knight. I want to know where we're going to put Io Sky. I want to know, just a bunch of like what are we doing with the SmackDown tag team titles? Because if we keep going with the Wyatt Six and the MFTs, bro, like I really don't give a fuck about that anymore. I'm really really over that shit. It needs to end. It should have ended a month ago, and for some reason we're still dragging this fucking storyline on. Again, I want to know where all these people are gonna come into play here. So I'm really excited for what's going on. Like I said, the confirmed matches that we have so far, all 4 world title matches are gonna be bangers. The other matches that we've had confirmed are gonna be bangers. So like I said, I'm just really excited for this WrestleMania season, and I'm hoping I hope we get like 10 more matches. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, just
No, it's looking it's gonna be fire. It's looking
Yeah.
great. I mean, just Oba and Brock already. That's the one I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, I cannot wait to see that one.
Again, man, I mean, just like think of all the 4 world title matches. You have the 2 main events with CM Punk and Roman. Then you have Cody and Randy, which just got really really exciting. Liv and Stephanie, which was exciting from the get. And then even as much as their promos or their promo wasn't the greatest, like I think it's still gonna be a really good match between Jaden and Rhea. You know, the IC title, the women's IC title is most likely going to be defended there with Becky and AJ. Like I said, the women's US title is most likely going to be defended there with Julia and Tiffany. I wonder if they're going to have Carmelo, you know, be part of the show, because you know they are still kind of building that stuff up with Ilya. I don't really know 100% what's going on with the IC title here, but I hope that, you know, Penta has a match there. I really hope that Dom and Finn, their matches for the AAA championship. You know, I just, like I said, there's so many like variables here that they can kind of, you know, mix and match or plug in different places that'll work. So I just hope that they you know, make the right choices here, and they give us just banger matches after banger matches for this WrestleMania.
Oh man, I hope so, cause hey man, you want them tickets to be sold?
Right.
Making better matches.
And lower those fucking prices.
Yes, cause oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Overall, this last week in wrestling, today Monday, this was really good, man. I enjoyed it. There's a lot of things happening. You know, we got more to watch. You know, AEW, more AAA, so we can talk more about that in the future videos.
Yeah. Yeah. So this week we have, you know, there's NXT tomorrow. Then there's Dynamite on Wednesday. Thursday, I don't think anything goes on Thursday. Maybe I'm ignorant and I don't know. Friday SmackDown.
TNA.
Oh yeah, TNA's on Thursdays, right? But you know, well, maybe we'll get there eventually. Friday SmackDown. Saturday is both Collision and AAA. So you know, maybe we'll. From what I understand, Collision's kind of a shorter show, so maybe we'll you know, start to pay attention to that a little bit.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back on Monday. We'll kind of talk about the week in wrestling again. You know, we're like an hour and a half into this show, so I feel like doing it this way, we had, you know, more to talk about. You know, which I really like. So yeah, we'll just kind of, you know, gauge to see what the people are saying, and then we'll come back. I do want to do you know, some more stuff outside of this too, so we'll have to figure that part out.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, we definitely got that other video going. You know, our Mount Rushmore. So you know, give that a view, because it's good. You know, I really enjoyed that conversation.
Yep.
Cool.
So I guess that's it for today. You know, again, just shoot us comments, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, follow us everywhere. Yeah, man, let's just start it. You know, let's get this community going. I'm probably gonna do a couple solo videos here and there. Marv, I know you're probably gonna do a couple solo videos here and there. You know, we're just want to put out some content. You know, I know that we're kind of maybe a little saturated here with content, but you know, just want to throw it out there for you guys. You know, but yeah. So any closing statements here, Marv?
Cool. No, just the usual. Make sure to follow me and ThenBoy7. You know, subscribe to our YouTube after the 3 count. Just let's keep it going, guys. Let's build this up.
Yep. Closing statement for me. TKO, drop those fucking prices. Maybe we'll end up going.
Please.
But yeah, so I think that's it. Follow me on Instagram at Chris Agony. And I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Cool.